Welcome to the heart. You guys, we're going to learn about basic EKG rhythms, and it's going to be the most incredible thing you've ever done. So the heart's incredible because it has this thing called automaticity, which means the myocardial cells can just depolarize themselves whenever they want. And so starting up in the SA node, it can fire this electrical impulse, and it goes down to the AV node and down through the ventricles, and that's how we get a heartbeat. So to understand basic EKG rhythms, it's all about electricity. And to make it simple, we're going to break it down into three characters. You have the SA node in the right atrium, you have the AV node in the middle of the heart, and then you have the Purkinje fibers in the ventricles. There's also left and right bundle branches, but we're just going to call them the Purkinje fibers to talk about all electricity that happens in the ventricles.
I'm the SA node. 60 to 100 beats a minute. I'm the boss.
So the SA node's the pacemaker of the heart. It's what makes everything happen. In a normal, healthy heart, this is where all the electricity comes from. And it comes from at a rate of 60 to 100 beats per minute. That's without any other influencing factors. That's known as the intrinsic rate of the SA node. What's up? I'm the AV node. Traffic director around these parts. You got electricity, I know what to do with it. So the AV node in a healthy heart takes all the electricity from the SA node and passes it down to the ventricles. So it's kind of like this traffic director in the heart. And if the SA node fails, the AV node will pick up with an intrinsic rate of 40 to 60 beats per minute.
We're the Purkinje fibers. We actually do the work.
Last but not least, we have the Purkinje fibers, and they take the electricity that they get from the AV node and they stimulate the ventricles and they send blood to the lungs, blood to the rest of the body. So they're doing the work of the heart. We're talking about electricity, which will be represented by tennis balls. If you see a tennis ball, think of it as an electrical impulse being passed through the heart. Tennis ball, electricity. Tennis ball, electricity. Tennis ball, electricity. Get it? So we're talking about rhythms in lead 2, which is like having a camera at the apex of the heart looking back to the rest of the heart. So whenever electricity comes toward the camera, it creates a positive waveform. So let's look at the components of a normal PQRST waveform. Because the electricity is moving from the SA node to the AV node, and that's moving toward the camera, that is lead 2, we see a positive waveform in the P wave. So in the QRS complex, we see ventricle depolarization. So you see the electricity move down the bundle branches toward the quote-unquote lens of the camera, that is lead 2, and the wave goes up above the line, and then you see the wave go back down as it goes along the Purkinje fibers, and the electricity moves away from lead 2. The T wave represents ventricles repolarizing. So when you look at the QT interval, that represents all your ventricular activity from depolarization all the way to repolarization. So here's our driveway heart. You can see the SA node and the AV node with the green circles. You can see the right and left bundle branches and the Purkinje fibers represented by the green lines. And now let's check out some rhythms in action, starting with good old normal sinus rhythm. The SA node passes electricity to the AV node, who passes it to the Purkinje fibers. SA, AV, Purkinje. SA, AV, Purkinje. A flutter. So you've got those multiple ectopic points and they're passing electricity to the AV node, but the AV node's only taking the ball from one of them. So you have miss, miss, conduct. Miss, miss, conduct. When the AV node conducts that electricity, that's when you see a QRS complex down the Purkinje fibers. AFib is crazy. It's like A flutter, except instead of the AV node taking electricity from just one point, it takes them from all points, and it takes them randomly. It's in no predictable order. It's irregularly irregular. So you can see some P waves, and sometimes you can't, and the AV node's randomly taking impulses, and some of them are hitting them in the face, and others are going down the Purkinje fibers. So SVT, you look at the AV node and it's taking all of those impulses and it's passing them down the Purkinje fibers. So we've got supraventricular tachycardia. Supra meaning above, tachycardia meaning fast heart rate, and so you're getting a fast heart rate above the ventricles. And you know that it's above the ventricles because the AV node is taking everything and directing it back down to the Purkinje fibers. So it's hard to tell what's happening with P waves because the heart rate is so fast. It's greater than 150 beats per minute. So the QRS is normal and narrow because the AV node is properly conducting, but you just can't see what's happening in the atria. So VTAC's a fatal rhythm. The ventricles take over and you can see them throwing back and forth electricity in a negative feedback loop. This means the electrical conduction is going to look wide and weird because it's not going through the normal pathways. Electricity is passing through the heart, but the ventricles aren't pumping because the electricity is just freaking out. I mean, look at those Purkinjes. Oh man, VFib. I mean, just look at that heart. Quivering away. The Purkinjes are trying, but it's not working. SA node's down on her face. AV node is cashed out in the fetal position. I think we're gonna need a shock. And that's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps with basic EKG rhythms.